Hi, my name is Beal. This is an all-purpose flexible yoga class. You can do it in the evening after work. You can do it in the morning before you start your day. You can do it in the middle of the day if you'd like. It is designed to be a super grounded practice, low to the ground, but with some aspects of strength, which I'll walk us through together. As always, you are invited to have some blocks if you'd like, if you have them. You're invited to have a yoga mat, but you don't need one to do this practice. So all you need is a space on the floor where you can stretch out and get comfortable here. We're going to begin in child's pose. So a couple of options for child's pose. Big toes come together. Knees can stay together here if you're feeling like you'd like a little bit more nurturing and inward energy. If you'd like to open up into the hips, start to get into the seat of this big body center of ours here in the hip girdle, and also some of the seats of some of our emotions. You are welcome to take the knees wide as the mat or as wide as you'd like. And in either case, whether knees are apart or together, just gently bring your torso down toward the earth. If your torso doesn't make it all the way down, you can place a block to prop yourself up anywhere you find yourself here. Hands can rest on the earth. If your knees are together, maybe you'd like the hands behind you, palms facing up. And wherever you are, just start to ground into this practice and into this space in which you find yourself, committing to being here for the next few minutes. Perhaps also committing or intending to leave behind anything that came before this practice and to let go of anything that might come afterward, just really allowing yourself to sink in to the present moment. Feeling the points of contact that your body makes with the earth here, the tops of the feet, the shins, the knees, the palms and the arms, the forehead. Maybe you rock the forehead gently side to side. Your Ajna chakra here, the seat of your intuition. And just beginning to breathe deeply here as you settle, beginning to notice your breath, the inhales and the exhales. Maybe you feel the belly as it expands against the thighs, or maybe you feel the breath in the back body here. There's no right or wrong way. There's just noticing. If your knees are apart and your arms are reaching forward, see if on your next inhale you can lengthen through the fingers and press the hips back even more, as if you could get longer here on your mat. Maybe your intention for the next few minutes here in our practice is to stay present here in the present moment. Maybe it's something else. If that calls to you, I invite you to take a breath to set your intention, exhaling completely, inhaling, and exhaling. On your next inhale, press into the hands, press into the knees. Let's come up to all fours. Either way, which child's pose you are in, you're going to want to bring your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders here. We'll begin with cat and cow pose. So Bidhalasana, cow pose. Let's arch the back, bring the chest through the shoulders as we reach the head up, arching the spine in this concave direction. And we exhale, press into the hands, press into the shins as we arch through the back in the opposite direction, Marjariyasana, cat pose. Taking those a few more times on your own, inhaling for cow pose, Bidhalasana. And exhaling for cat pose, Marjariyasana. When you're ready, let's begin to make circles with this movement. So moving through cat and cow, you're also arching your torso over to the right and over to the left, as if you could make a circle with the barrel of your torso here. So maybe coming up onto fingertips, maybe bending through the elbows, getting a little bit into the hips here as they move side to side as well. Taking this in one direction and then the other. Remembering the breath, checking back with the breath, noticing if the mind has wandered, and returning to the feeling of your hands on the mat as they press into the earth here. And coming back to center, neutral spine. When you're ready, navel draws up and in toward the spine. Belly is ever so slightly tucked here. And see if you can lengthen out through the crown of the head. So as you look straight down in between the hands, the chin is slightly tucked and the spine is long. Exhale here. Inhale here. And then let's take a lateral side bend. So look over your right shoulder towards your right hip and maybe bump the hips toward the right as well. So you're making a C shape with your back. And careful not to dump into the belly here. So draw the navel up and in. Inhale here. Exhale back to center. The wrists are getting tired. I understand. We'll be off of them shortly. Inhale here. And exhale to the other side, looking over the left shoulder at the left hip, maybe bumping the hips toward the left. Inhale. And exhale, press into the knuckles, press into the fingertips, taking the weight out of the wrists. Let's take a cat and cow to reset. Nice work. If you'd like to sit back on your heels, we'll just clasp the hands together and take some figure eights, stretching through the wrists one way and the other. Maybe some roller coaster hands here. Moving through the wrists in whatever way feels comfortable. Reaching out the arms straight, fingertips come back toward you, and then pointing the wrists forward, fingertips pointing down. All right, we'll come back to all fours. Nice job. Let's take thread the needle, Parsvabalasana. Left hand stays planted right underneath your left shoulder here. Knees are over the hips are over the knees. We'll inhale the right arm up as we open up to the right side. And exhale, right arm threads between left arm and left leg. Right palm stays facing up as we twist toward the left. Exhale. Inhale, press into the left hand, left leg. Reach the right arm up. And exhale, thread the needle once more. Exhale. Inhaling to come back up. And this time we'll hold in our Parsvabalasana, thread the needle pose. Right arm comes between the left arm and the left leg as we rest here, twisting toward the left. Left hand can come up onto your fingertips here, maybe reaching the left arm forward. And maybe pushing into the left leg as well. Finding your appropriate edge in this pose, as in all poses. One more inhale. On your exhale, if your left arm and left leg were lifted, you can return them to their
forearm position, or all fours position. Press into the left hand, left leg on the inhale. Reach the right arm up once more. And exhale, right arm comes down. Nice job. Maybe wiggling the hips a little bit side to side, and we'll take it to the right. So pressing into the right arm and the right knee. We'll inhale, lift the left arm up, opening to the left. And we'll exhale, Parsvabalasana, threading the left arm through the right arm, right leg, coming down onto somewhere on the left side body here. Inhale, we'll unravel. Taking this a couple more times, just flowing through the motions, allowing our muscles to warm up here. One more inhale to open up. And this time we'll thread the needle through. Left arm comes palm face up in between the right arm, right leg, and resting here on the left side of the body. Maybe the right arm comes out anywhere that feels comfortable. Pressing into the palm of that left hand, the outstretched hand, so you can really leverage through the twist, once again finding your appropriate edge, maybe extending the right leg. Right toes stay grounded if you choose this option. Feeling the breath in the back body. One more inhale and exhale. Returning to that all fours position with your right side body. We'll inhale to press up, open up to the left one more time. And exhale back to all fours. Taking some hip circles once more. And when you're ready, let's walk the hands forward, a palm print. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips, and come into downward facing dog. Making sure the weight in our hands is in our fingertips and knuckles, really pressing into the fingers, really pressing into those joints to take the weight out of the wrists. And if you'd like, pedaling out through the feet as well. Ooh, got some movement going on here in my bones and joints. I am doing this practice at the end of the workday. And as always, I hope you feel empowered and free to move in the ways that are best for you. So if what I'm suggesting is not right for you, or if you'd like to take a modification, this is your practice. Please do so. Beautiful work. On your inhale, let's bend the knees, look toward the hands, and walk slowly to the top of our mat here, coming into our forward fold Uttanasana at the top of the mat. We'll inhale for a halfway lift. Hands travel up the shins as we bring our flat back here. Shoulder blades draw together. Navel draws toward the spine. Crown of the head is long. Inhale here. And exhale to fold. We'll plant the hands and then just kneel back into all fours here. Coming back to all fours. And then fire up through the core. Navel draws toward the spine. As we press into the hands, press into the legs. One more inhale here. Crown of the head is long. And we'll exhale to walk the hands forward for Anahata Asana, heart to earth pose, puppy pose. Just starting to open up through the shoulder girdle. Hips stay over the knees here as we reach the arms out. And if your pose looks different than mine, that's totally okay. You can bring, again, a block or a book underneath your head. In this pose, just keep the fingertips shining brightly, pressing into those fingertips and pressing into the knees. And then drawing the low belly up and in ever so slightly to protect the low back here in this pose. We really want to draw the stretch into our upper shoulder girdle. Ajna chakra is once again grounded here. Getting in touch once again with our intuition and that intention that we set for practice. Beautiful work. Let's come forward very slowly onto our bellies. Extending the legs out long, toes can relax behind you. And then hands come underneath the shoulders for baby cobra, bhujangasana pose. So from this position with our forehead to the earth, our hands on the earth, our toes are pressing, tops of the feet pressing into the earth, maybe so much so that your knees come off of the mat. We'll inhale everything, your hands and your shoulders and your head peel up off the earth as we draw the shoulder blades together and think about getting long through the entire body here. Inhale, exhale, lower. Let's take that twice more. Press into the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the hands, shoulders, and head. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale to lift the hands, shoulders, and head. Staying long through the entire back body. Shoulder blades draw together. Take a deep breath. And exhale to lower down. Tuck the toes and then either come through plank if you're feeling strong today, or maybe all fours, before coming to downward facing dog, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Knees can stay generously bent here in your downward facing dog. And when you're ready, we'll bend the knees even more, look toward the hands, and step toward the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, allowing the neck and the head to dangle, maybe rocking side to side here. And then I'll face you as well so you can see this next part. We're going to take another little twist. So from here, as you are in your forward fold, bend through the knees generously so that you can place your left hand down right in the middle, about 6 or 8 inches in front of your feet here. We're going to bend generously into the left foot as the left knee as our left hand is grounded, and moving that right leg toward straight without locking the knee. We're going to reach the right arm up toward the ceiling. So just twisting in a different way here, pressing into the left hand that's grounded or on our block, moving that right leg toward straight and bending so generously into our left leg, stretching through the iliotibial band. Well, not stretching, can't really stretch the band, but activating through that side of our body. Inhale here, neck is long. And exhale, just switch the hands. So bend it back into both knees, and then the right hand replaces the left. Keeping the right knee very bent, we'll move the left leg toward straight and reach the left arm up toward the sky. Neck is long. You can look up, you can look straight ahead, or you can look down at your hand. It really doesn't matter. What we're looking for here is that stretch in the outer left hip and any activation or sensation that you feel as you twist here. One more breath in. And exhale, both hands come down, both knees bend, back to Uttanasana, forward fold. From here, you can set your block aside if you were using it. Let's bend the knees and plant both hands. We're going to step the right foot all the way back, lower the right knee to our low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So our feet are on parallel railroad tracks here rather than on the same tightrope for our stability and balance. You can relax those back toes. If you have blocks or books, you can bring them under your hands. We're just going to take a flow here with Anjaneyasana and Ardha Hanumanasana. So inhaling here, stretching through the front of the right hip crease. And exhale to shift the hips back, lift the left toes, as we move the left leg towards straight. Hips come over the back knee, Ardha Hanumanasana. And your back can stay flat here, or perhaps you'd like to round down, yogi's choice. If you do take a flat back, just keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Think about the crown of the head lifting long and draw the navel in toward the spine. Inhale here. And exhale, bend into the front knee, Anjaneyasana.
Inhale here, shoulders draw down and back. Maybe you lift the arms. And exhale, press into that front foot as we lift the front toes and move the left leg towards straight, Ardha Hanumanasana. Let's take that sequence one more time on our own, inhaling. Exhaling to stay. Inhaling to shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Exhaling. Inhaling here. And exhale to bend into the front knee. Walk the hands forward. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Beautiful. From here, let's plant the hands, tuck the back toes, or you can keep that back knee lowered. We're just going to step the left foot back either to plank or half plank. So if you're stepping back to half plank, keep that right knee grounded as you step the left knee back, or perhaps you've come to plank pose. Shoulders are directly over the wrists, toes are tucked underneath. In both poses, crown of the head reaches out long, shoulders draw down and away from the ears. Inhale here, and exhale, either lower the knees or lower all the way down to the ground. Baby cobra, inhale, lift the head, the shoulders, and the arms. Shoulders draw down and away from the back, the neck. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll look toward the hands and step or maybe hop to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Let's take a halfway lift. Hands travel up the shins. Ardha Uttanasana as we make a figure 7 with our torsos. Navel draws in toward the spine. Neck is long. And exhale. When you're ready, let's plant the hands, bend the knees generously, and this time we'll step the left foot back, all the way back for our low lunge, Anjaneyasana, on the second side. Once again, maybe coming to blocks here, making sure that our front knee is over our front ankle and not any further. And we'll inhale here and exhale. Let's inhale here. And exhale to shift the hips back as we lift the right toes, move the right leg towards straight, bringing the hips back over the back knee here for Ardha Hanumanasana. Once again, finding your appropriate edge, finding the pose that works for you. Maybe back is bending, maybe back is straight. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale, let's come forward. Anjaneyasana. Exhale to stay. Inhale to shift back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Exhale to stay. Inhale, shift to Anjaneyasana, lunging forward. And exhale, shifting back, Ardha Hanumanasana. Beautiful work. Let's remove the blocks if you had them as we shift forward into our Anjaneyasana once more. Take a breath here. And then plant the hands, and once again, either stepping back to plank or half plank. I'll demonstrate half plank here. So my knees are down, but my body is in one long line, still engaging through the core. Whole body is activated. Inhale. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, cobra pose, maybe taking a slightly deeper back bend this time. Hands stay on the earth. Shoulders draw down and away from the ears. Press into the tops of the feet. Release the glutes. Exhale to lower. And then inhale, power up through plank pose and downward facing dog. Nice work, everyone. From here, let's step the left leg towards center and lift the right leg up, coming into three-legged dog. Inhale here. Exhale to bend the right knee, open up the hip.
pressing into both hands evenly, keeping both arms straight, keeping our shoulders squared toward our left leg. Inhale here. And then exhale, right knee comes forward as the right foot steps in between the hands for warrior two. So let's spin the back knee down. Spin the back foot down so that our front foot is intersecting the arch of the back foot for warrior two. So my right foot is forward. I'm bending into my right knee. My right arm is going to come out over in front, and my left arm will come out behind. So I'm facing toward the left side of my mat here in warrior two with the right foot forward. Staying very bent here into that front leg, and then being mindful of the shoulders, that they're down and away from the ears, and that I'm not reaching too far forward or pushing too far back in space, that I'm not leaning back or leaning forward, using the core, drawing energy up from the earth here, drawing energy through both soles of both feet. The soles of both feet. Both soles, like as in both each has two soles. Maybe. We don't know. Inhale here, reaching out long. And then exhale, let's reverse. So flipping the front palm, we'll inhale to tip back with our torso while our lower body stays exactly the same. Stretching through the obliques here. And you'll find it's more important here, even here, to engage the core. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. So right elbow comes onto the right thigh, and then the left arm comes down to avoid irritating the shoulder girdle as we reach the left arm up and overhead. So if you bring your left arm overhead like this, you'll experience compression in the shoulder joint. So what you want to do is bring the arm down and around, which is a much more natural movement for that shoulder to take. Beautiful work. Inhale here. Exhale, let's come back up. Strong legs, press into the legs. We're almost done here. One more breath in warrior two, looking out over that middle finger of your right hand. Inhale. Exhale to extend the right leg as we reach back, reverse triangle. So the front leg this time is straight. Exhale. And then inhale, triangle pose, Trikonasana pose. So we reach forward with our right arm until we can't any further, at which point we tip forward and left arm comes up high. So for this pose as well, you can bring your hand to the shin, maybe to the thigh here, taking triangle pose. All of these options are good. What we want is for this right hand to be grounded on something, whether it's yourself or the earth or a block, yogi's choice. Gaze can be up toward that top hand, maybe straight out ahead or maybe down at the earth. Take one more breath here. And then exhale to bend into the right knee. We'll windmill the left hand down and we'll come into our twist here. So with the back knee lifted, but switching, lifting the heel as well. We're going to open up the right arm toward the sky as we open up toward the right. Inhale. And then exhale, right hand comes down as we step back. You can take a little flow here, coming into plank or half plank, lowering down onto your belly, back bend of your choice, and then come to downward dog, or you can just come to downward facing dog. We'll take that sequence on the other side. So my right foot steps towards center now as I lift the left leg up for three-legged dog. Inhale here, and exhale to open up, bending through the left knee, pressing into both hands evenly. Inhale here. And then exhale, left knee comes in towards the chest, in between the hands, and I plant the left foot down. Back foot spirals down so that the arch of that back foot bisects the heel of my front foot. My left knee is very bent as I come up here into warrior two.
On the left side, I'm facing toward the right side of my mat. My fingertips are reaching out long. My gaze is over the front middle finger. Inhale here, shoulders draw down the back. Exhale, strong through both legs, pressing through the outer edge of that right foot in back. And exhale. On an inhale, let's flip the left palm as we reverse, bringing both arms up. Tipping both arms toward the back, really. And so our left arm comes up, maybe our right hand comes down, or around the back. Inhale here, and exhale. Inhale to come forward, and we'll come to side angle on this side. So my left elbow comes to my left thigh, and my right arm comes down, around, and up overhead. Extended side angle. Pressing once again into the outer edge of that right foot, that back foot. Strong through both legs. You got this. Inhale here. And then exhale. Legs stay strong, stay where they are as we bring the torso back up. Warrior two. One more breath. And then we'll flip the front palm and straighten the front leg as we tip into reverse triangle. Press into both feet. Reach up tall with your left arm. Inhale here. And then exhale, left arm reaches out forward, maintaining a small micro bend in our left leg. We'll tip forward, reach forward with the left arm until we can't reach anymore. And then we'll ground that left arm, coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. So finding a spot, avoiding the knee joint, but finding a spot where you can reach the arm and the leg can make contact. And then we lengthen out through the right side body and the left side body, in fact. Gaze can be wherever is most comfortable to you. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Keep returning to the breath, returning to the intention that you set at the beginning of class. Inhale here. And then exhale, we're coming toward our twist. So bend into the left knee as we plant the right hand. Lift the right heel up off the mat as we point the right toes toward the front of our mats, and we'll open up to the left. Left arm reaches up high for this twist. Beautiful work here. Keep breathing. One more breath in. And exhale, plant the left hand. And once again, your choice. Take a vinyasa, perhaps your last of the class, or just meet me in downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. Nice work. Finding any little movements that are comfortable, that make you feel comfortable here in downward facing dog. Press once again into those joints of the hands, of the fingers, maybe coming up onto the toes, lifting the hips up high, and lowering the heels down toward the mat, bending into the knees. Nice work, everyone. When you're ready, on an inhale, bend the knees, look toward the hands, and let's walk up into the middle of our mat. Widen the feet, heels in, toes out. Perhaps the toes come off the mat as we lower the hips down for our garland pose. Our yogi squat here, Malasana. And perhaps you are here, maybe you're up here, maybe you're here. Wherever you are, you can place a block or another pillow or other item underneath your hips if that's comfortable to you. We're just going to be here for a moment, opening up through the hips, pressing into the outer edges of the feet, maybe bringing the hands together to palms at heart center, allowing the elbows to push out with the thighs, making contact, and just noticing the breath, noticing what's here for you. in this moment and in this moment. If you've got a block or other assisting tool underneath your hips, you can remove that. And we'll lower down onto our glutes, onto our buttocks, bringing the knees out. And then from here, let's sit on our sit bones. So sitting up tall, shoulders draw down and away from the back. Feet are parallel to one another. And then the knees are up. And then from here, see if you can lean back any amount. So shoulders, again, stay down and away from the ears. We're not collapsing in the back. We want to keep this really long posture, similar to our halfway lifts here, the Ardha Uttanasanas. And then maybe, just maybe, you've got your hands behind your legs. Maybe you're lifting your heels off the ground. Maybe bringing the legs to parallel here with the earth. Maybe pointing the toes, or our boat pose or Navasana. And if your hands are behind your knees and you're loving it, you can stay right there. If you'd like to challenge yourself, maybe the arms come out with the palms face up. Again, being mindful of the shoulders, being mindful of the back body. Crown of the head is reaching toward maybe that crease in the ceiling with the wall. Chest is broad. Taking one more breath here. And then maybe straightening the legs. Maybe not. Wherever you are in this pose is perfect. Wherever your appropriate edge is today is perfect. Let's take a breath here. Exhale to lower down, low boat. Continuing to breathe, even though it's challenging, even if you're shaking. And then exhale, let it all go. Bring the feet to flat on the earth and maybe rock the knees from side to side, just massaging through the low back. Ooh, maybe it's nice to bring the knees in and take some hip circles or some circles with the knees, which will move your hips and also massage through your low back. We're winding down our practice here, thinking about what you, not really thinking actually, feeling into what you might need as we close out our practice. I'm going to invite you to place your hands underneath your glutes, or if you have a block, you can lift the glutes and place the block under the glutes. And then maybe take the legs up toward the vertical line. If the block or your hands are in the right place here supporting your sacrum, this will be a really effortless pose. You're welcome to also do this against a wall for legs up the wall or waterfall pose. Just allowing this gentle inversion. No matter what time of day it is, we can all benefit from reversing the flow of gravity in our bodies. Just noticing how your breath is now in this moment. Is it deep or shallow? Are you catching your breath from our boat pose challenge? Maybe wiggling the toes here, maybe flexing and pointing the feet, or maybe complete stillness is what feels right for you today. So again, the freedom to move or not move in the way that feels good to you. Let's take one more breath here. You're welcome to stay here for your Shavasana, or if you'd like, you can lower the feet down toward the earth. Press into the feet, lift the hips, remove the block or other assistive device that you've got there. Oops. And then finding your appropriate final resting place. So maybe you need a Nanda Balasana, happy baby, grabbing the soles of the feet before you unwind into Shavasana. I'll give you 8 or 10 breaths to move in whatever way feels good to you. Maybe a reclined cobbler's pose with the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Or perhaps you'd like to take some constructive rest with the feet as wide as the mat and the knees falling inward. That's a really nurturing pose for the low back. So taking whatever you need over the next 5 or so breaths. Or if you're already ready for Shavasana, you can find your perfect final resting pose, the one that suits you best today, right now in this practice. And when you find it, maybe it's the traditional corpse pose, heels out on one corner of the mat and on the other corner of the mat, snuggling the shoulder blades together, palms face up, away from your body. Or maybe it's any of the other poses that I just offered to you. Maybe it's on your belly, wherever you are, beginning to find, if you haven't yet, that final resting pose, moving any props out of the way, and taking an inhale and an exhale to just release it all. You can let go of everything that has come before in this practice. You're invited also to let go of that which comes next. Please don't skip Shavasana. It's a critical time for your nervous system to reset and process the work that you've done, the movement that you've taken. Let's inhale and exhale, releasing any breath pattern and just resting. If the mind is wandering, you can just bring it back to the physical sensations that you feel on the mat. We'll take a few more moments in silence here. On your next inhale, make it a little bit deeper. And exhale. Gently bring some movement back into the fingers and toes. Maybe rocking the head side to side, feeling the skull on the earth. Maybe you reach the arms up. I don't really have room for that here. But there are other ways around that. Pointing the toes, stretching out. On an exhale, bring the knees in toward the chest, and we'll roll to one side, any side, coming into seed pose with the knees up. As we roll onto our side, maybe using your bicep as a pillow here, finding this seed pose, recognizing that this pose and our practice give us the gift of a small new beginning. Exhaling here. Let's inhale to press into the hands and slowly come up to our comfortable seat. Maybe your eyes stay closed if you feel safe to do so. And we'll just find a comfortable seat in a chair, cross-legged, maybe kneeling. It's up to you. Let's place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly, and we'll just close with a little intentional 2-part breath here. So exhaling, we'll breathe in to fill up our belly and our chest. And we'll exhale our chest and our belly. Inhale, belly and chest. Exhale, chest and belly. Inhale, belly to chest. Exhale, chest to belly. Taking this a few more times on your own. Taking your final inhale and exhale. Nice, you can release that breath rhythm. Hands can stay right where they are, or maybe you can bring them to heart center with the palms together. It's up to you. Wherever you are, see if you can tune into any sense of gratitude that you have for yourself for showing up today to practice, giving yourself the gift of this present moment. Recognizing, feeling gratitude for your inner teacher who has guided you over these past several minutes here in practice. And we'll take a breath together to close this practice, a breath of gratitude. Let's exhale completely. Inhale together. And exhale. Maybe bowing the head toward the hands. I thank you so very much for practicing with me today. It really has been an honor to guide you through this practice. If you have questions or comments, I always encourage you to reach out. Thank you so much for practicing with me.